It was one of those nights when everything felt too still, like the world itself was holding its breath. I remember sitting in my small living room, the dim glow of the table lamp painting long shadows across the walls. Outside, the wind whispered through the old oak trees, rattling the window panes just enough to make me glance up nervously. You ever get that feeling, the one that crawls up your spine, whispering, something isn't right? I had no reason to be scared, at least, none that I could name, but my gut told a different story. That's when I first noticed it, at the edge of the driveway, just beyond the faint glow of the streetlight, a shadow lingering, unmoving, watching that at first, I thought it was a trick of my tired eyes. I rubbed them, sipped cold coffee, tried to shake the unease. But shadows don't stay perfectly still when the wind moves. I peeked through the blinds again. The figure hadn't moved, and now I noticed something else. Its outline didn't look entirely human. The head was too still, the shoulders oddly slumped that I tried to reason with myself. Maybe it was a neighbor. Someone walking late. But no one in this neighborhood was out at this hour. My phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number, "I see you." Heart pounding, I checked the locks on all doors. Everything was fine. Yet, instinct screamed something was wrong. I walked to the kitchen to grab a knife, even though part of me knew it wouldn't help. As I passed the window, the figure stepped back into the darkness. I couldn't see its face, but something about it felt deliberate, like it was waiting for me to notice. Then the noises began. Soft, deliberate taps against the back door. I froze. I listened, straining for any other sound. My house was old, the pipes groaned, the walls creaked, but this sound was different. Slow, purposeful, like someone was pacing outside. I tried to call my friend, anyone really. The line was dead. My phone wouldn't connect. That's when I realized, the figure wasn't just outside. It knew I could see it. It wanted me to see it. I crouched by the window, trying to make sense of what I was seeing. The shadow's movements were irregular, jerky, almost unnatural. Was it human? Could it be an animal? But animals don't send texts. Animals don't stalk you silently. I grabbed my flashlight, planning to scare it off, or at least confirm what I was facing. The beam cut through the darkness, sweeping across the driveway. Nothing. Empty. But then, I noticed something chilling, footprints. They weren't like any human prints I'd seen, too elongated, with strange, claw-like marks. They led around the side of the house, toward the back door. Panic surged. My house felt too small, too exposed. I thought about running, but every instinct told me that moving would trigger it. Whatever it was patient. Waiting. Watching. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time had become meaningless. Each creak, each rustle outside amplified my fear. I remembered reading about home invasions, about people who waited for the perfect moment to strike. But this was different. There was no robbery here. This was something else. Something hungry for fear itself that I couldn't sleep. Every attempt to calm myself failed. I stayed awake, watching, listening. And then, just as the clock struck 2 a.m., I heard the back door handle jiggle. Slowly. Smoothly. Someone, or something, was testing the lock. The back door handle moved again, slowly this time, as if testing my patience. My breath caught. I held the knife tighter, listening. The air inside the house felt thicker, every shadow seemed alive. I could hear my heartbeat, loud and uneven, each thump toward the kitchen windows. Outside, the figure had not moved, but its presence was undeniable. A shiver ran down my spine as I realized its head turned slightly, almost as if acknowledging me. The moonlight caught its eyes, pale, reflective, unhuman. Every instinct screamed at me to run, but my legs refused. I was paralyzed with fear, and yet, I couldn't look away. The creature didn't approach yet. It didn't flee. It simply observed, waiting for something. I noticed the shadows shifting unnaturally, stretching across the walls. The sound of scraping fingernails on wood came from the closet behind me. I spun around. Nothing. Just darkness. But the smell hit me, wet, metallic, like blood. Then I heard it, a soft whisper, unintelligible, coming from the hallway. My flashlight flickered, then died. Darkness swallowed the room. Panic surged. I could feel something moving closer, something big, deliberate, patient. I stumbled backward, crashing into the dining table. Plates shattered. The sound seemed deafening. The shadow loomed closer. I raised the knife, hands trembling. I tried to scream. No sound came out. Then, just as I thought it was too late, a sudden gust of wind blew the front door open. Light spilled in from outside. For a moment, the figure hesitated. That hesitation was all I needed. I bolted that I ran through the hallway, my heart hammering, knife in hand. The creature followed silently, its movements deliberate. The shadows flickered along the walls, twisting and turning in impossible ways. I could feel its presence pressing closer with every step. I reached the living room and grabbed a chair, spinning it around to block the path. The creature stopped, its head tilting unnaturally. Its eyes glowed faintly in the dark. I swung the chair with all my strength. It passed through it as if it were smoke.